This is the Nightwolf howling at you, and today we are going to try to do some figure customization for Arcee from the Transformers Legacy line. Or actually, I guess technically this was the Studio Series version, wasn't? No. Yeah, this was the Studio Series version of Arcee. No, it was actually the Earthrise version. Anyway, I picked up this kit off of eBay. We will open it up right now. It includes a pin remover and a bunch of extra parts. The main feature of this is, of course, this new backpack for her, which I'm suddenly not entirely sure where it's supposed to attach, because, I guess we'll figure it out. Hopefully I don't break her. I think you can still get her, so. Part of this is a new gun for her, which looks to be blast effect compatible. Looks like it's molded in white and plastic or painted in gray. Although this is also probably 3D printed when you get right down to it. And then we have leg fillers for the back of her legs, which are really open and ugly. But we'll see how this goes, and I mean, if I screw this up, I still intend on posting it, so wish me luck with this one. Because the thing is, I thought you were supposed to push the peg out, and then you would put this on the back, and the peg would slide back in there. But maybe this just hooks onto the back instead. This would be our peg pusher. Unsheath the peg pusher. So the idea is, if you can see it here, there is this little peg right here. And we need to push that out in order to get the backpack off. Maybe if I try this side. You know, it would have been nice if they'd given instructions on actually how to do this properly. I thought it would be as simple as just pushing it through there, but apparently it's not. Alright, hold on. I'm going to try putting this on the side of the desk. Okay, so apparently the key to removing her backpack is you have to heat her up first in order to soften the plastic enough that you can pound this thing through the back to get this out enough to actually use the pliers on it. All right, so this is her backpack, which theoretically speaking if I could figure out what I did with the other part, because this was in my display in robot mode. Theoretically, if I had the other part to this, basically you'd have the entire car version of her sitting here too. Okay, so this is what her back looks like. And this is the backpack. So I guess actually it just slides in there like that. Unfortunately, oh, first off, the color match is not perfect on here. And secondly, this is kind of loose. So potentially, well, it might also be partially a problem of her still being hot from the water, but that is her with the new backpack. That makes her look a little bit more G1 accurate. Of course, she's not going to be able to transform with it, but we make sacrifices, right? Anyway, then of course we have the giant-ass gun for her, which this is one of those add-on kits or modification kits where you can't transform them afterwards. So there's that. But I think this does give us the nice, more positive look at her, I should say. So more G1 accurate. Sorry. I think I might keep on taking her off the screen because I'm a little bit closer than usual. But yeah, I think that looks nice, and I think she'll be a good display piece that way. Now let's take a look at the leg fillers. For her thighs. It looks like these little slots here are meant to go in those slots there. And the backpack fell off again. Well, we'll leave that off for now. It actually fits in pretty good. Again, the color match is not perfect. It does also seem that we do lose some of our articulation in that this joint here does not move anymore. Although if you're just posing her, I don't think it's a big deal. And you still have this little bit of articulation up at the top that you can still work with. So you still have some range of motion for display. Let's see. Are these side specific? Because these are for the calves. And yeah, I would say they are side specific. All right, so we have basically one little tab down there which fits into here, and then this thing that slides up into here. However, the way it feels when I put it in here, it feels like that bottom part is the only part that is actually holding it in place for friction, for the friction grip. But this is what her two legs look like now with the filler in place. And it does look nicer. The side's a little bit questionable. The front, not too big of a deal. That's one of the funny things, though, is that this is filling in some of that back gap. But ultimately, chances are, nobody's going to see it in your display anyway. Oh, crap. You know what? Maybe I have them on the wrong sides. Hold on. Crap on a cracker. Alright, I may have had the bottom one on the wrong side previously. It's kind of hard to tell with this, to be perfectly honest. Something just broke off of something here. Oh, shit. I'm just not sure what broke. Oh, okay. Yeah. A piece of this cracked off right here. I don't think it doesn't really affect it too much, the look. I mean, yeah, it's uneven now, but that's not a big deal. Although it is disappointing that that was that fragile. But there we go. There's Arcee's back with the gaps and filler stuff in there. I think it looks pretty good. But what do you think? And then, of course, from the front, while you still can't really tell much with the whole gap fillers, just that part looks good at the top there. So she looks more like Arcee. The only thing that is missing would be a nice pink faceplate for her so it stands out from the white helmet, which was one of the problems with them being so cheap when it comes to creating some of these figures. I hope you enjoyed this customization of our Arcee figure for Transformers. I might consider gluing that in place since I don't intend... I have a second one of her in vehicle mode in my display anyway. So it's not like I need to worry too much about her having the... about this being my only Arcee figure. Theoretically, you could put that pin back in here, in her, and put everything back together if you wanted to, but that would be up to you. But for display purposes, I think this will be a good version of her to display. And while I think this gun is supposed to relate towards the Transformers Netflix series, I kind of would have rather they had, instead of giving us this big honking gun, they maybe should have just given us like the rifle that we've been getting with some of the other Arcee Masterpiece figures. If you enjoyed this video, please transform that like button. And also, feel free to watch more of my content. You can subscribe below. Thank you for watching. Peace and love.